Lauren said I was fearless. Well, let me put it another way. I just fear less. And that's a big difference if you fear less. Fear is an acronym. Some of you've learned a lot of different views of fearless. Face everything and roar. How about that one? Face everything and roar. I'm more like flee everything and run. Because when stuff gets tough, I'd rather run than stay in the middle of the trouble, stay in the middle of the fear. I want to run away. I got any other folks out there who'd say, yeah, I'm a runner. I don't want to stay there for the stuff that's really hard. I bet some of you even face some fears tonight. How many of you have never been to the UMKC campus before? Whoa, bunch of you. That takes a lot of courage to go, to find that parking lot, and then the fear, oh my gosh, I got to be driving home tonight after 10 o'clock, and it's dark outside, and my night vision isn't what it used to be. Now, from the looks of things, y'all are pretty young, and you don't know what I'm talking about. Ask your grandma. She'll tell you about night vision and the problems you can have with night vision. It happens. We get older. That's a fear for me of getting older. What do I do with getting older? I have some stories about getting older, about the fear associated with it. It kind of came at me awfully early. I was at a checkout at Target. Maybe I was 40. You know, a couple years older than I am right now. And the young lady said, can I help you? She's checking me out, and she said, do you have your senior citizens discount card? I said, what did you say? She said, do you have your senior? I'm not joking. At 40, no. I said, honey, I'm not old enough to be a senior citizen. I'm barely your older sister, thank you very much. No, I'm not owning that old thing. I like to say I'm getting older, not old. And what's the difference between older and old? Man, it comes in here. Because if I act older, that's acceptable. Not old, you know. You're not going to see me walking around like this. No way. I'm older. I'm a woman of a certain age. That has a nice feel to it, doesn't it? When you become a woman of a certain age. There's a lot of class with a woman of a certain age. The next time I was told I was old, my best friends, leave it up to your best friends to help you out that way. We're at Crown Center, and we're shopping. And my girlfriend Denise says, well, there were 5 of us shopping. She says, well, you look at those 5 middle-aged women. Well, where'd they go? How'd I miss them? She said, Mary, it's us. We're middle-aged women. I said, you maybe, not me. I am not middle-aged. She had not read the studies that I quickly found to justify my anger about age. I said there was a study in Marist College that said middle age, 50% of the people who respond, 55% said middle age begins at 65. All right, that's it. 65. And then there's another study. Use this, okay? This one said middle age begins at 60. Okay, so I'm doing an average, 60, 65. I guess it begins at 62 and a half. Someday I'll get there. So if it starts at 62 and a half, what am I going to do with all this energy? Because I know I got mountains to climb. I got races to run. And I've got thrills to seek. You with me on that? There's a lot of fun ahead. I began to think about this thing called bucket list. How many of you got a bucket list? Oh, you'll get one. You get to be a woman of a certain age, you better get one. So I put some fun stuff on it. I'm going to share 3 of them with you. First one, skydiving. Okay, I started that when I was 25. 25, you know, I am woman, hear me roar. 25 was a while back. And I thought, I can be one of those tough women. And I took the class. We were going to dive and pull our own ripcord. That was before they understood that people killed themselves when they pulled their own ripcord because they're freaking so much when they jump out of an airplane at 3,000 feet. Okay, yeah, pull your own ripcord, sure. Okay, so you could die. That's one option. So instead, they began to require you did it with someone else. But before you figured that out, let's say you're dropping through space. And by the way, it's about 125 miles an hour. 125 miles an hour zooming through space. Now, what if I didn't pull that ripcord? Oh, I'd feel so guilty. But that's the shortest guilt trip you'll ever have. Splat! I mean, that guilt trip's over like that, and for a Catholic girl, that's a big deal. If you got a short guilt trip. Yeah. So I went to the airplane, I'm ready for my guilt trip. And I get there, and it starts to rain. Hallelujah. It's raining. Second weekend, they gave us a rain check. We came back. Guess what happened? Yes. Oh, you're quick over here. And then the third time. You've been there. Yeah, it rained every darn time. So I said, that's a sign from above. God doesn't want me jumping. No. Okay, so I said, all right, we'll can that idea. But then I did it at the age, well, an older age, let's say. Recently, the weather was beautiful that day. Guess I was going to have to do it. I got an accountability partner, my girlfriend, and she was going to make sure we went out to that. Oh, we did all our homework. We checked Farmer's Almanac about the weather. We researched this thing. We show up. Her husband wouldn't go. He said, I don't want to watch you die. My husband, he was front and center with a camera. Because he said, if you die, I got to get the pictures. Your brother is an insurance agent, and he'll want them. Okay. So we got we got through that. Oh, I have to tell you about my dive master. His name was Patrick. Hello, Patrick. He was the only reason I got on that airplane. He was about 6'2", big shoulders, blonde hair, blue eyes. I said, Patrick, let's go. He said, I'm ready if you are, Mary. And as he's walking towards the plane, I'm walking back. I thought this sounded like a good idea about a month ago, but it's not so good now. And we're up in the plane, and at 7,000 feet, I begin to realize that Patrick has my life in his hands. This is not the time to vet that guy and say, Patrick, do you have plans later? Now he's worried. He's connected to me with all these hooks and stuff. I said, you have plans later? He says, as a matter of fact, I do. I've got dinner with my girlfriend and my kids. I said, you love them, right? He said, yeah, I do. And I said, I'm pretty fond of that husband of 30 years down on the ground, and I'd like to see him again. So that means you're going to pull the ripcord at the right time. And he said, yes, I am. And we go to the door, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking out, and I hear him say 3, 2, and then I passed out. Loved it, I guess. The video had me smiling. And trust me, it is good for photography. Because when you're dropping through space like that, your face goes up, your chin, all those wrinkles, gone. Everything goes up. I mean, you are about 20 again. You're looking good at the skydive. We got to the ground. What a great experience. Check that thing off my bucket list. So now I'm an athlete. I'm going to do a 10K. Yeah, 10K. Guess what happened when I went for the 10K at the starting line? You are so smart. Yeah, it rained, and I said, we're doing this anyway. It's out in Arizona. We get to the halfway point, and my feet are killing me. They're soaked with water. I got blisters. And then I remembered why. I bought these fancy socks that have an L on them and an R on them. Okay, an L and an R. No wonder I messed it up. I had to do this at 4:30 in the morning. I had to be able to tell left from right. And I screwed up. But I didn't let that stop me because I had planned this with my cousin Heather, and we were going to finish that race. We had set a goal. We were going to do it. And I had 6,550 more steps to take from that point when I knew I had blisters. And if I had stopped, I wouldn't finish the race. Have you all had that happen? There's a time, maybe you started a remodeling project and you go, why did I start this? I am eating sawdust sandwiches. My coffee has drywall dust in it and I'm calling it creamer. I mean, you go, I really didn't think this through very well, but I did it anyway. And then the finish line. There was nobody there because we finished second from the last. I didn't care. I set a goal and I did it. And I want that idea to be burned into your mind that when you face fears, you got to walk through them. Don't let them stop you. And now there's another story about something that almost stopped me, almost killed me. For 30 years, I drank alcohol every day. 7 days a week. I was a pass-out, blackout drunk. You wouldn't think it to hear me be upbeat. But I faced alcoholism. And I saw what it was doing to my husband, to my family, to people I loved. And I thought, this is the biggest fear I have ever had to face. What am I going to do? I had lost a relationship with the person, the higher power I call God. I had lost all of that. He wasn't there for me. All I did was pray that he'd take my life every night. I went to bed. And I said, this is no way to live. There's no joy left for me in my life. And I said, we got to do something different. And I reached out for help, and I found some friends who helped me. And I kept going day after day after day. And I put the booze down. I know many of you love people who have problems. It might be alcohol, it might be drugs, it could be food, it could be shopping. We all have addictions in our homes, in our communities. And you have to do something to make it better. I couldn't stay the way I was. I had to get moving and get something done. And when I reached out for help, I had a partner. I had lots of partners who walked that walk with me. Remember the steps that I had to take in that run? Halfway was 6,500 steps more to take. Lucky the program I happened to hook up with only had 12 steps. It was a good thing because the 11,100 steps, no. I can't remember all that stuff. I got to make it easy, make it simple. So what does all this have to do, this fear thing that I walk through, the fear of jumping out of an airplane or the fear of being a runner and being perceived as an athlete and then kicking an addiction? I do it one day at a time, one step at a time. And it starts with y'all making a bucket list. How are you going to do that? You got to write something down. You got to set your sights on something bigger than you. However you get there, you got to start today. Don't wait. Because you may become a woman of a certain age. Or a man. You ever heard of a man of a certain age? No, I haven't either. They don't worry about it. But no matter what, the clock is ticking and time is passing. And so I invite each of you to take a step, ask for help. Who does it work for? It works for people who are willing to change. They're open and they're honest. And so I leave you with those ideas. You got to be willing. You got to be open. You got to be honest. Get honest every day of your life. Thank you.
Give it up.